Hello, friends. This is Rajkumar Yadav, a teacher, YouTuber, and today we have with us Tanesh Gamot. He is a research scientist at Monash University. Welcome, Tanesh. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
I'm good, Raj. Thank you, and good to see you. I'm watching your YouTube videos and also the podcast and everything, and you're doing amazing job, man. Amazing job. You're inspiring a lot of many young minds, and
Thank you.
making them think about their lives and career. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure, actually. And see, I have seen you as a student as well as you have now become a research scientist, and it's a great achievement for any person. So, my first question, let's begin this. So, my first question for you is that how you cracked IIT. You have been to IIT Kharagpur and then you did your PhD from IIT Bombay. So, I want to know basically how you uh, got into such an esteemed organization and such an esteemed institution, because many students they struggle a lot. They try to get all the methods from internet and they try to study, they try to get into coaching, they pay a lot of fees, and then also they are not able to clear. So I was wondering, you are just one of them, right? You have been my close friend, so I want to know how you prepared for IIT and how you cracked it, because it was unbelievable for me. Can you please tell me?
Well, I like that thing when you said I was like you only. So yeah, you I was sitting with you, I spent time with you. So cracking IIT has been a good journey so far. The main reason is to crack IIT. Like a lot of many people think like we need to work hard, study a lot, prepare a
Yes.
lot.
Yes.
Um, well, I would say to crack IIT, it's more you need to strategize what you learn. Okay,
Okay.
focus on these important aspects
Okay.
and focus on something which can gives you marks on certain merits. So for me, the first and foremost thing is that we were very much inspired by our seniors who actually cracked IIT. And you know what? The best thing to crack IIT or something, follow the guidance of someone who has already cracked it.
That's good.
Okay,
That's good.
exactly.
Yeah.
So make them as your mentor or coach, and learn from them that how they could crack IIT. What are the important examples they followed? What are the
Okay.
textbooks they read? And how
So
much time
you
they spent?
so you
So all
actually
those things are. Yep. Sorry.
so you actually talk to such people, like you came into contact with such people. How you came into contact with those people who had actually cracked IIT?
Yeah. Well, that's a good question. Well, I'm not saying someone who cracked IIT. So for me, our seniors who actually prepared for GATE exam.
Okay.
Okay, so we had our like my MSc seniors. They actually cracked the gate, and they actually got into NITs. But they said like if they could have worked hard, they would have got into IITs.
Okay. Right.
So we sort of overstepped them,
Okay.
and we went to give our best, and we were much better than them. And then
Yes.
we actually cracked the IIT. So actually, it was their guidance, of course, that like you have the capability. So another thing which I want to say is you
Yes.
have the capability. Just keep that thing in mind, in the thought, in your heart. You
Yes.
have the capability. You can do it.
That is the best thing, because having faith in ourselves, that is the first and foremost factor for anyone to start a journey, right?
Right, right, right.
I am a firm believer of this thing. When a person tries to start a marathon race, he has to first have a belief in himself that I'll be able to do it. If he starts with the belief that I will not be able to do it, oh my God, it's very tough, then gone. Half of the battle is gone only. That's it at that point.
Exactly.
So Tanesh, I have also come to know that you were doing a group study. You were having a couple of friends and you were studying in a group in a closed room, and then you all were studying together at
Yeah.
four different corners. Tell us
Yeah, yeah,
something
yeah.
about that.
Okay,
Very
that was
interesting.
amazing. Thanks for bringing that point up. Actually, when our seniors inspired us to prepare for GATE and prepare for
Okay.
IIT,
Okay.
and they were like, we were like, who were having like same frequency match, because of
Okay.
several reasons, and what we thought is like, why not? I want to prepare IIT, and they will also want to prepare IIT.
Okay.
Competition. It's a teamwork. So we took it as a teamwork rather than competition. Most of the time it so happens that like Raj is giving a gate, I'm giving a gate. No, I should be scoring more than Raj. No,
Right.
if you collaborate, if you share the knowledge and like try to prepare in a team, you can
Yes.
get better results, both of you.
Right.
Okay, so what we have done is the similar aspirants, I would coin that term. The similar aspirants of IITs, they sat together in a room and we studied
Hmm.
like different books and different sorts of subjects. And at one point of time, so we would sit in a corner like we four people. I have my home in Vidyanagar, but I used to go. My father would give me his scooter, like old scooter, and then I would take that scooter to
Okay.
to Nana Bazaar. I think you might know that it's like 5 kilometers away, and then I would go to there. They were like in a paying house, and then they were like paying guests, and they were preparing. So I said, I want to prepare with you guys. Doesn't
Great.
matter, like, yeah, I
Great.
want to
Great.
prepare with you guys. And we would study something that I read this paragraph, or I read this subject, I read this whole chapter. And then after some point of time we would come together to a place and discuss, okay, yeah, we can do this. What have you learned from that? You can do this. What you have learned from that? That's what I.
Okay.
And if you have any doubt, we discuss it. But like again, you need to be mindful of everyone's time and
Yes.
everyone's privacy.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so it's more like I should say a teamwork, team environment, but not a friend stuff.
Okay.
Okay, because more than three friends
Hmm.
get together. There are only two times they get together. One is when they want to party. Another thing is
People.
they want to go out
People
somewhere.
like me.
No, that's not the case. Okay, but
Okay.
yeah, okay. So that's the thing we did, and the thing is like we encountered several obstacles on that on that sort that like sometimes it so happen that we need to skip our classes to prepare
Okay.
together, and then that would actually impact our regular studies. But our
Hmm.
main goal was that like we have set a February this day. And normally the gate, all the exams comes in the month of February or March or something.
Right.
This is
Right.
the date we need to prepare, and this much time we have, and we need to complete this much syllabus. So again, like going back to my earlier point, it's strategize
Yes.
and come into play. Just play it off.
Okay. Just play it. Right.
Yeah, just play it off. Just play it off.
Okay. Great.
The most time we spend in like I was of that kind of that sort of person. Like most time, oh,
Okay.
now I have to do this, I have to do that, and you get completely distracted. Just play,
Right.
just play it off.
Right. At least just try it out and see how it goes.
Yeah, yeah. Never. Like I always say this thing to say to everyone, never ever downgrade ourselves. If you don't get to IIT, there are many places I wanted to get into, but I couldn't get it.
Yes.
But that does not mean that I left. I mean, I quit or I have, sort of depressed or stressed about like I couldn't get this. You don't have to do that.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
be at your best, like the way you are doing the revolutionary teacher thing. You're doing it best. I'm very much inspired from
Thank
what you
you.
are
Thank
doing,
you so much.
and the similar people.
Your
Yeah.
words mean a lot to me because, see, I have faith in myself. But when I see people who are really supporting me, it is people like you who are open-minded and broad-minded, and they try to accept that okay, certain people are also willing to go up and level up their potential. I am doing whatever I can do as a person, and I want to explore
Right.
myself. That is the best
That's
thing
right.
that this has happened. Actually, this is happening from the last 3 years. I'm trying
Hmm.
to explore myself just like a scientist who tries to study a phenomena based on his observations and calculations. He takes risk and comes to the conclusion. In the same way, I'm studying my life. So because of that only, I'm highly passionate about life as a person, as an individual. I want to explore myself. And a lot of people, they miss out these things. They don't explore themselves, and then they come to the conclusion that, oh my god, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. He is good at doing this, you are not good at. Or okay, I did not do, so Raj, you also don't do it. Okay, it is not going to happen. I have seen such pathetic fellows as well, like pessimistic. I won't say pathetic, I would say pessimistic people who don't encourage others because they have failed, so they want others also not to try. Such kind of people are also there, but I accept because this is life. Five fingers, they all are not same, they all are different. So I accept that. And
Well, I think we need those sort of people as well. Otherwise, how would you boost your? confidence that like
Yes,
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 yes, I
yes.
can
We
do it.
need such kind of people because of them, sometimes I feel too much, motivated or energized. So, Tanish,
Sometimes you need to focus on like what you're doing, that so that if you get distracted and you find these people who will say, you should
yes,
focus on what you're doing, that other than getting distracted.
correct,
So
correct.
yeah, that's my viewpoint anyways.
No, 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 that is perfectly fine. So, Tanesh, you got selected in IIT Kharagpur. Just after your MSc, you prepared for the GATE exam and you got selected
Yep.
in IIT Kharagpur. And later on, you also pursued your PhD from IIT Bombay. So, I want to ask, how was the life at IIT Kharagpur and at IIT Bombay? How will you describe that? Because lot many people they dream of studying in those institutions, and they might be wondering what kind of life these students would be living. Because we have seen a lot of movies and pictures, they show some different story and all that. I want to ask from you, how was your life and your friends and culture at IIT Kharagpur and then Bombay?
Well, I want to say this very nicely because the thing is, I had a completely different experience at IIT Kharagpur and IIT Bombay, like all together
Okay.
at IIT and my university. And if I recall the things which happened, there has been complete what do you call, a drastic difference in what my experience, what my expectations were.
Okay.
So I remember after GATE, actually, you need to appear for the interviews, personal interviews at those IITs, and until unless you don't clear those interviews, you don't get into IITs. So it's not just the GATE, but you need to clear the interviews, written test and interview.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went to IIT Kharagpur for my interview and the written test, I see people. I saw like people there around talking English like with an accent. Like they're talking
Okay.
about this and that. I'm like, oh my god, have I come
Okay.
to a foreign place or what? I was completely astonished by the fact that the people of very high caliber come here, and I was a bit pessimistic about, like, I think I'm not the person which belongs here. I was having that inferiority complex, that I
Oh
think I
my
don't
God.
I don't belong here, and that happens
Wow.
because we coming from a small university or a small college,
Yes,
and
yes,
then you
yes.
go to something which is like standing at the top. It
Yes, yes.
actually kicks in. It actually makes you wonder that I think something wrong. Like, why I don't belong here. So that's what happens.
You should feel that you have earned your place. You have earned your place. You have given such a tough exam, and then I think because of the people, the kind of students you came across.
Well, at all based on experience, we haven't seen something like this.
Okay.
So again, like there are two different quarters. One is like one is like the things we know, and there
Okay.
is like three-fourth of quarter which says we don't know
Right.
because we haven't seen that place. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
that I was in a place where I don't know what actually an IIT life is, or what the IIT culture is, or rather,
Yes.
I would not say that term IIT. I would say premium institutional culture is. Okay, whether in
Okay.
India, whether in abroad. So I had that. Yeah, after that interview, when I got it, I'm like, oh
Uh-huh.
my god. I was like, I'm still dreaming. Is it like a dream or something? And then,
Oh.
so like, and I want to share this actually. It's very interesting, and I think this will inspire many people.
Yeah.
That that time when I gave the interview and came back to home, I went to my village. There was some weddings. Wedding. There was a wedding season. It was like
Okay.
around time of May something. It was summer, and there were wedding season. I went to the
Right.
village to attend some weddings, and I was hoping that, like, though my interview went well, it was not like very hard. It went well.
Okay.
Okay, above average it went. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
written test also fine. But still, had that feeling that I don't belong here. And then I went to the village for the wedding, and the results actually declared that, like, there was a date that on this date that the result will be declared. If so you get selected, or you need to put in your number, and then you can check your result.
Okay.
I don't. I'm like, okay, I'm going on a, what is it called, procession, the groom photo procession,
Yes. Yes.
and I got call from my friend who was preparing among with us, and then he
Okay.
said, like, Tanesh, did you check the results? I said, I don't know to check. I don't believe that if it happens or not.
Okay.
And then since then she said, like, okay, I can check it for you. Give me your number. I texted her my number,
Okay.
and then he said, Tanesh, you are selected. I'm like, seriously. And then at the time, the situation was the drums and band are playing in the background. I'm like, okay,
It
and
was
I'm
a
like, okay,
celebration moment, man. Celebration moment.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
So I want to say to the students that like, don't never underestimate yourself. Never underestimate. Okay,
okay.
we all are humans. We all have good capabilities. Okay, and we all can be there where we want to be. Okay, so
Okay. So, Tanesh, I want to bring you back from those memories and actually, like, what I want to actually know, how was the
uh,
life, how was the daily routine at IIT Kharagpur? How was the
yeah,
classes conducted? How were the students studying? And how was the food and
okay,
everything that you can talk about it?
yeah,
That's why.
yeah. The reason I brought this story is because that actually changed my perception when I got into IIT. That
Okay.
uh, it's not like IIT is meant for people who are crazy. I have heard that word many times that people
They are
who are
not
crazy.
humans. They are
Yeah,
not
they're
humans.
inhumans.
They come from
They
Mars.
possess.
They come from
Yeah,
Mars.
yeah.
They give exam and get selected, and they
Yeah.
go back to Mars also.
So I mean, so that's why I want to say that
Uh-huh.
the IIT culture is not at all like that highly
Okay.
defining culture, or it's not the culture which you think it's they'll be studying and reading all the time.
Okay.
No.
Hmm.
What I say to people is the gate to IIT or gate to any premier institution
Hmm.
is the main barrier. After
Okay.
you clear that barrier, your life is much more easier.
Okay.
Okay, you
So
have got relative.
you all discuss daily lectures even while
Yeah,
playing,
so
going
so
out.
you have got a relative grading system. You don't even have percentage system.
Okay.
Okay, so you study, you go to classes every day. The professors. So the one thing about IIT is the professors, because you have cracked IITs and GATE, they would
Hmm.
assume that you know this much portion. So he will start from here only.
At least this basic, that will
Exactly.
be that is their
So
point, right?
okay, so their mindset when they teach you is that you have already reached level one, so
Yes.
they will
Yes.
start from level you have to start from the level one to higher
Okay.
levels. So
Yes.
they would assume that you already know all those things, and if you don't know, you have to prepare on those. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so that's the one thing. So in that case, they would teach you something which is above level one, and they
Hmm.
will make you prepare for. They will make you study their practical experience. I think in IITs, one thing I liked is, and which is different from the university culture, is
Hmm.
a lot of getting practical experience.
Okay.
Okay, focus on more on the practical aspects. Okay, so at IIT Kharagpur, we had classes starting from morning 7:30. So we had in IIT, you have got hostels, very nice hostels. Accommodation is beautiful accommodation.
Okay.
You got very nice, a big mess, like food mess, and you can in that mess you can eat. And then you get food, 4 time. Like, can you imagine? At every IIT. Okay, so you
So
have
do.
breakfast from morning 6:30 to 8. The time varies IIT to IIT.
Okay.
6:30 to 8:30 something, and then you got lunch around from 12 to 2 something, and then you got evening snacks from say 5 to 7, and then you still got dinner at like 9 to 10:30 something. So you get
So when is
food
the
4 times.
study? When is the study time?
Good question.
I was wondering. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, of course. So what we used to do is we used to go have a breakfast,
Okay.
go to the classes, have 3 to 4 hours classes, come
Hmm.
back for lunch.
Okay.
So the beauty behind beauty of IIT is everything is at one place.
Okay.
Everything is at one place, and you are actually in a city. You are actually in an area where you don't have to go out. You have to look out like in normal college. I think I have seen you that you were communicating with Khambat, and you need to bring your
Yes.
lunch
Yes.
or you
Yes.
to eat in the canteen. You don't
Yes.
have to do that. Like, yeah. So I had when IIT is the academic section, and the hostel section would be say 10 minutes of walk, 10-15 minutes of walk at max. So
Okay.
you
That's
can you
good.
can attend your classes, go back.
Hmm.
You can, if you want to go, if you have some time, like
Hmm.
sometimes there won't be any lecture in the afternoon until late afternoon. So you can eat and you
Okay.
can sleep in your room. You can go back around time. So it's a very flexible culture in IIT, very flexible culture, and like you have got so many places to eat around.
Hmm.
Okay, within IITs. So if you don't feel to go to the mess food, you can have food
Okay.
at the nearby canteen. Your own academic school has their own canteen, small canteens. You can
That's
eat there.
good.
You can go there. Yeah, it's very
That's good.
flexible culture at IIT.
Is there a culture like
And
Is there a culture when students, they interact with each other and they discuss the doubts or the topic which has been taught in the class, like whatever has
that
been
that
taught today?
that always happens. That always happens in IITs. That especially when it comes to exams, like people would come and people would go. So the good thing about IIT is because everything is at one place.
Hmm.
So I'm staying in room one, Raj is staying in room two, and
Okay.
one of our other friend is staying in room three.
Okay.
So I can go to his room, knock his door, ask him his doubts,
Okay.
and then both of us can go to our friend three and then discuss the doubts. And all of us can stay at same place and one room prepare and then just go for sleeping at the room. There are some disadvantages to that as well. That if you want to need some privacy, sometimes it's very hard. But I think there's a
Obviously.
different taste of this kind of culture.
Yes.
Okay.
And we have to maintain balance in that also, right?
Yeah, actually, we need to maintain a balance, and I think it's not very hard. Like once you have reached IIT and you have already come for gate and you have achieved some rank, and so I think you actually get accustomed after like 6 months or some. You accustomed to the life of the
Okay.
IITs.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And talking about my experience, like I said in general, but things may vary. That's what my experience. Okay, so another thing is like for me it was MTech, and MTech is a 2 years course. So first year was all courses, practical
Yes.
and theoretical both courses.
So right now you're
But
talking
but
about IIT Bombay, like Powai, right?
no, I'm talking about IIT Kharagpur at the moment,
Okay.
and
Okay. Okay.
Master of Technology where I did that.
Okay.
And so my second year entirely my entire second year was a project, okay, research project.
Research project.
So
Okay.
research project. So I actually need to go to the labs. I have my supervisor assigned. He
Okay.
would guide us to do some project, like come up with something ideas. So we need to read literatures and papers and books to understand
Okay.
particular subject and do a literature review, that where can I do something novel, something off the road,
Okay.
and publish good papers, or have that gain the research experience, that what research
Okay.
culture is like.
So okay.
Okay, so that was like a sort of training to a PhD. Um,
Okay.
but there are various programs that, like after BTech also, you can join a PhD, or you don't need to do MTech. You just need to do a 1 year of research coursework and everything. So it all
Okay.
varies, but it's just for me it was good experience to have to do that MTech, and so that like I can get that 1 year of research experience during my MTech.
Okay.
Fortunately, I could be able to do good work
All
in
right.
MTech.
Okay, Tanesh. So can you just tell me about IIT Bombay, Powai, the place where you have lived?
Yes, I think I can say something about that because I spent a lot of time there actually. Around
Yes.
3 to 4 years I spent at IIT Bombay. It was altogether different experience because
Okay.
I did my PhD there, and PhD is different from the regular courses.
Right.
So again, it was again a different and great experience being at IIT Bombay. The culture at IIT Bombay is very different from culture at IIT Kharagpur. Um, like again, the classes and the food and everything what I said about IIT Kharagpur is the same as here as well. Okay,
Okay.
only thing which differs is that now because I'm doing PhD, I don't have classes, not many classes. Just initial was 6 months, just
Okay.
as part of the program. You need to do classes. Otherwise, rest of the time I have my lab, my supervisor. So I have to report to my supervisor. I have to come to
Okay.
the lab every day. Like read some literature, read some good research articles, and work on the project all the time.
Okay.
And like mine was actually joint PhD program between IIT Bombay and Monash University at Australia, where
Okay.
I'm
That's good.
where
Yeah.
where I am. So I actually
Yeah.
had to report my daily updates to my supervisors, both my supervisors was at Monash Australia, and my supervisor at IIT Bombay. And
Mhm.
we had meetings that what I have read and what are my plans to do some experiments, or so to do some research, actual research, and then what I and when I do the research, I actually my daily routine would be going in the morning after the breakfast to the lab, and then just do some experiments, and mine was more experimental, so do some experiments, and I might come for the lunch or I might not come for the lunch depending on the experiments I'm undertaking. And then sometime most of the time it's so used to happen that my experiments would take a long time. So I had to spend a full night, go early in the morning in the hostel. So the flexibility which you talked about in IIT is that like,
Yes.
you won't do that like when you are actually in a city,
Okay.
okay? Because going in the night to your home might be sometimes not that good
Yes.
environment. Like,
That is not
uh,
possible at home. Yeah.
yeah, some like people do that. That's not a
Hmm.
problem. But in
Hmm.
IIT, because you are in a closed place, which has been very good, very highly secured by things and places. So you could like go late at night at your room and then come back. There is
Okay.
a lot of flexibility depending
All right.
on what research you are doing. So again, it was altogether different experience. And if I want to put the my experience at IIT Bombay, I would
Hmm.
put it in terms of PhD culture, which would be
Okay.
another question for you.
Yes.
So
Yes. I would definitely want to ask because how were the students they were preparing? Like, what was your topic? What was your topic for research? The main field that you were researching for? Like, if you can tell it in one or two sentences.
my main theme. So the field of area is material science.
Okay.
Okay, which is a sub branch of applied physics.
Okay. Applied
Okay,
physics. Yeah.
applied physics. It actually comes under condensed matter physics, but people
Okay.
take it material science as a different part of subject, but actually it's a part of the it's combination of physics, chemistry, sometimes biology. So my PhD topic was more of graphene material. Graphene is a two-dimensional thin layer of graphite. You know graphite, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
graphite
Graphite.
has a
Yes.
layered structure, right?
Yeah.
One layer.
It's a compound
So
of carbon. Right. Very
it's a compound of carbon or
very
derivative
smooth.
of carbon, very
Yes.
smooth, and it has got layered structure if you remember. So if
Yes.
you take
Yes.
out one layer, yeah, so
Okay.
that the graphite become graphene. And
All right.
how I can use that graphene in actually something called as oil in water emulsions. Emulsions is the daily use products like
Okay.
the cream you use. You milk is also an emulsion.
Correct. 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 Correct.
So my project was to use the graphene in stabilizing this oil and water emulsion. So
Okay.
I mean, if you have observed it at your home, that if you try to mix water and oil, it doesn't mix well. Okay,
Yeah. They
they
are
actually
immiscible
makes
liquids. Right.
immiscible liquids. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
immiscible liquids.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is, so if you use any sort of surfactant, like
Mhm.
the best example is detergent, right?
Yes.
You might have seen ad of Surf Excel and other
Yes. Yes.
detergents,
Yes.
like how they have got a tail, they have got head, like head sticks to the water and tail sticks to the
Yes,
oil,
that
and
comes in our science textbooks that emulsified fats they are removed because of the
exactly,
polarity of water. These are the terms
exactly.
which I remember, which I have crammed, but I don't know exactly what is mean.
Yeah, that's very true actually. So to stabilize this water into oil or oil into water, all you
Yes.
need is either provide them something called electrostatic repulsion.
Okay.
Okay, so when you shake anything, it becomes a droplet because droplets are the best configuration they can have to minimize the surface energy.
Okay.
Okay, so everything that this law, many minimization of energy always applies.
Okay.
So in droplet form, so this when they are immiscible, what happens is these droplets actually collapse or combine together
Okay.
and are like separate as phases. But if you don't allow these droplets to coalesce together,
Okay.
then they'll stay as droplets. So then becomes stable emulsion.
All
So
right.
then they don't lead into separate phases. So my project was to use that graphene in these oil water emulsion. So I want to stabilize the water droplets, in oil continuous phase.
Okay.
Okay, so
That's
that was my
great.
project, and yeah,
Okay. So I'm getting a lot
and
of knowledge from you, Tanesh, because many PhD students also might not be, you know, those who are preparing actually and those who are studying in the college of they are preparing for physics as a graduate subject, they might not be having so much of discussion, but thanks to you I'm getting so much of knowledge in just a short period of time. That is the power of technology and strong bonding, right?
yes, actually, so bonding is also very important.
Bonding is also important because why would a person share his immense knowledge with some stranger? You know, bonding is very important. So, Tanesh, like we have talked about your life at IIT Kharagpur and Bombay, and then after that, you moved to Australia. Like you got a job over there. Now you are doing. You are a research scientist in Monash University, Australia, right?
Mhm.
So, can you just tell me something about the place where you work and Australia as a country and how it is different from India? Like the people, the
Mhm.
culture, the manners in which they operate, they do their work, because you had shared a lot of things. So I
Mhm.
was just want to know a couple of things which make Australia as a different place than India.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did part of my PhD at Monash University, Australia, and it was again like overall a very different, altogether different experience for me. Altogether different experience for me.
Okay.
New country,
Hmm.
different culture,
Yes, different food,
yeah,
different
different
rules and
food,
regulations.
different rules, regulations. Everything is
Yeah.
so different
Okay.
than India, because Australia as a country also it's very different from India. Okay, you India is in northern hemisphere. Australia is
Australia
in
is
southern
in southern
hemisphere.
hemisphere.
Hemisphere, you have got
Yeah.
winter there. Then at that time there is a summer here.
Summer. Yes,
You
yes.
got summer there. At that time there is winter here.
That is common.
Um,
Yeah, that is common.
that is common.
So
So
what was
yeah,
the
actually.
striking feature that you made, that you realized that this is how Australian people and Australian culture that is different?
So if I would say and in my viewpoint, of course, in my experience,
Yes.
professionalism is the one what I would definitely use.
Professionalism.
Professionalism is yeah. Professionalism,
Mhm.
respecting others' privacy. It's very good thing I have learned about this country.
Okay. And
Okay,
rules and regulations like traffic and all.
rules and regulations, traffic rules
Okay.
are very strict,
Okay.
very strict. Any talked about rule. So the main difference is we have rules in India. It's
Hmm.
just that we sometimes appreciate, we don't appreciate some other times.
Yes.
In
Yes.
here, people also appreciate the rules and regulations. I tell you one very recent example in the current scenario,
Hmm.
which is our COVID and lockdown.
Yes.
So yeah, so it so happened like in the month of a few months ago, in month of July,
Hmm.
they had increased case. They had second wave of coronavirus, and they had like seven
Yes.
eight hundred
Yes.
cases per day, which is a lot. 700 to 800 cases a day is lot, considering the population of Victoria, the state where I am in. Okay, because
Okay.
the population of Australia, altogether Australia, is even less than our Ahmedabad, Vadodara combined. So
My
you
God.
think of there's such a small population, it's
Yes.
just
Yes.
24 million.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Such a
24
huge,
million
such
population.
a huge place and such less population, right?
Such a less population,
Yeah.
exactly. So when you consider like the 700 cases per day for such a small population is like percentage is very high. Okay,
Yes.
so it so happened that government imposed a very strict lockdown, like curfew, 8 p.m. curfew, and then you only allowed to go to the work. You can't cross 5 kilometer radius. Only you are allowed to do essentials. And like even I was surprised that people followed the rules very nicely.
Wow.
Okay, people follow the government rules so much so that from 7 to 800 cases per day in 3 months,
Hmm.
they brought down to zero cases per day. It's
Wow.
been like more than 60 days they have zero cases.
Right. This is what I really
Okay,
appreciate, because when rules and
exactly.
regulations are actually followed by people, they do make a difference. Otherwise, governments and everyone can make rules and regulations, but if they are not followed religiously by the people, then it's of no use. I'm really happy to see that.
Yeah, exactly. And also talking about Australian culture and Australian values. Again, as I said, professionalism, respecting others' privacy. And also, the unique thing about Australia, if I would say, is the flora and fauna.
Okay.
There are different class of like different species, various breeds of this plantation or what do you call botanical things,
Okay.
and the animals. And you know what Australia is famous for? It's kangaroo.
Kangaroo. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So they have a very different species of like kangaroo, platypus, koalas.
Okay.
They have got this penguins as well in the southern beaches. So
Okay.
that's also very different. You see like a lot of areas like empty lands. like
Yes,
to a lot
yes.
of, yeah, and empty
Lot
lands
of
too.
empty lands.
A lot of
And
empty
how
lands.
many places have you traveled actually? Like how many places have you visited actually?
Well, in Victoria, which is my state, so I have traveled most of the Victoria. They got very good mountains, very good beaches, everything. In other states, I just visited two cities, which is Canberra and Sydney. Canberra is their national capital, and
Okay,
Sydney is also the first biggest city of Australia.
okay,
So in terms of again culture and population, like there is a lot of what do you say, a drastic difference, or a
okay.
big difference between Indian culture and this.
So
And
Tanesh,
in terms of sorry, I just want to finish this. And
yes, yes.
okay, in terms of work culture also, it's very different. The work
Okay,
culture is also very very different.
okay,
So work culture is there is nothing called something called as like what people do there in India. It's spoon feeding.
okay.
Again, it's my own viewpoint. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so spoon feeding, so that people take the ownership of their own career. That's very
Okay,
important. Okay,
okay.
and secondly,
Mhm.
uh, here no job is
Okay,
class. Okay,
all
so
right.
all the jobs you do, whether you are a sweeper, you are like building, constructing,
Okay.
like labor or something,
Mhm.
everyone is given equal weightage. Everyone is looked as equal person.
Great.
Okay,
That is great.
yeah, and
And
like
suppose,
all, yeah,
suppose,
yeah, please.
suppose Tanesh, like for a person like me or anybody who has not been to Australia and he goes to Australia like an Indian and he's looking for an
Mhm.
Indian food, so will he be able to get it easily?
Definitely, because there are many Indians, especially like Gujaratis. Oh my God, all the
Gujaratis are
three or third,
everywhere.
yeah, every third or fourth business store will be owned by Gujarati. So
Wow.
you will get definitely Indian food is not a big thing here, not a big.
Okay.
In fact, I was surprised when I saw
Mhm.
the spices from my own place, which is Anand, Karamsad, and those places.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I think you might know like nearby place Uttarsanda. You know
Yes,
Uttarsanda.
yes, Uttarakhand, I
So
know.
so the so, so the proper Matia Chorafade of Uttarsanda you will find it here, and
Wow.
because Australia imports most of the goods,
Okay.
including food.
Mhm.
They actually you will find like most of the export quality Indian food here. So like you get best quality of Indian foods in Australia.
Okay. So is
That's
it
also the
economical? Is it economical for a person to make the food at his home or to, visit a restaurant or something like that? Or is there something like dhabas, just like we have dhabas over here? Do they have some such kind of culture over there?
there is nothing like dhaba because all they call is restaurants. All the restaurants are there.
That is it.
But there is something called, and the culture has been increasing a lot these days.
Okay.
Is called food trucks.
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
food trucks. That's
food trucks,
yes.
food trucks.
Mhm.
So there has been, and my time here for 3 to 4 years, I increased. I've seen the increase in frequency of the food trucks around my place, around Australia, a lot. And the situation is like I'm a vegetarian, so I couldn't find when I came here for the first time. I was struggling a lot to find a vegetarian food.
Okay.
Um, yeah, rather you like it's better to for you to like buy spices. You will get all the Indian spices and everything like
Okay.
your flour, your rice, and everything. Good price, very good price. You get
Okay.
fruits and vegetables, very good price, and then you can
That's
cook the
good.
food. But outside, either you go to Indian restaurant, which would be like economical net, not that good. It would be like very
Hmm.
costly, very expensive.
Okay.
You'll find cheaper ones, but you will feel like you're not to go because the taste would not be comparable to what you make at home.
All right.
Okay, so again, going back to the same thing, that when I came, it was difficult to find, but now because the increase in the culture in the West of vegan culture is there is increase in the vegan culture in the West.
Yeah.
There is a lot of vegetarian food and food trucks, and recently, like for a year now, I'm observing food trucks for basic Gujarati food like dabeli, vada
Wow.
pav.
I
Yeah,
love that.
actually,
I love that.
yeah. And seriously, I was completely missing those street foods. Like
Yes, yes,
finding street foods was difficult at one point of time here, but now
yes.
easy. You get
That is great to know.
golgappas, everything. Yeah,
That is
yeah.
great to know for a common Indian. Now moving
Exactly.
forward, to
Yeah.
your next question, like Tanesh, what is your present job responsibilities that you are handling? Like whatever
Okay.
job that you are doing, what is the
Mhm.
main responsibility that you do?
Okay. So I finished my PhD, and the main thing you learn from PhD is that you are trained to be an independent researcher.
Okay.
Okay, you can be able to handle projects on your own. You are expected to handle the projects on your own after
Okay.
you finish your PhD research projects.
Hmm.
So the main responsibility is that I have been assigned of projects like industry projects or industry funded projects or normal like basic fundamental projects. And so my job is to deliver those projects, like do those research, publish more papers.
Okay.
Okay, papers and patents, like novel innovation, more of like research and innovation side. And
Wow.
also because I've been already trained as a PhD, I'm expected to do some supervision for PhD students. Okay,
Okay.
the new upcoming PhD students who are joining, so I need to
Okay.
help them, doing their PhD, review their thesis, review their articles.
Okay. Okay.
That's my major. So
Yeah,
so
you
my
just you also have to act like a guide to them, right?
exactly. I am a supervisor actually. I'm co-supervisor. I have already one of my PhD students graduated recently.
Great.
So
Great.
you have to, yeah, yeah. So again, all these things are I always say there is always room for learning, and all these things are learning steps. Okay,
Okay.
you fail, you get back, you fail, you get back. Okay, sometimes something in research, that's what I have learned is that like you have to be very very patient. You have to be very very patient with rejections, with failures, and with research downfalls which comes on your way. So that's what we have learned in PhD, and that we implement the same thing
In
during
real
our
life.
my research in my research scientist position.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Great.
So it's an interesting journey, of course.
Yes, it's a
Yeah,
good thing also to learn, because if a person applies the same kind of endurance, resilience in his personal life, then that person can really achieve a lot, and that person can also go a long way. So let's move
exactly.
forward. Yeah, let's move
Yeah.
forward to the next question that I have for you. Like, what are the good qualities that you look for in a good scientist? Like, if you have to tell that, like, if a person or a student has to become a good scientist, what are the basic good qualities that a person should have?
As per my experience and my own journey, I would say the first and foremost thing you have to be a scientist is curiosity.
Curiosity. Yes, that's the number
Yes,
one.
that's
Yes.
very important.
Okay.
You need to have a curiosity,
Okay.
immense curiosity and passion towards knowing about that curiosity. You need to have willingness that I'm curious about something. I want to find out about this.
Okay.
Okay, and that passion shouldn't go away soon. Okay,
Yeah. How do you
okay. So
sustain that passion? How do you sustain that curiosity and passion?
what we do is that we assign daily time towards like finding about that curiosity. Like
Okay.
every day we dedicate some time for the curiosity. We nurture that curiosity.
Okay.
Okay, we nurture the curiosity with the knowledge we have.
All right.
Okay, and getting more and more knowledge and more understanding. So one thing about curiosity is that if you actually follow curiosity to a right direction, or even if it's not a right direction, that sometimes if you're like continuously like you're giving your all the you go giving your best to find out about that curiosity, there's some things you will find as a byproduct which will generate more curiosity.
Yes, exactly. I was going to say the same point.
Exactly.
Curiosity is
So
driven by knowledge. A bit of knowledge
yeah,
comes and then more curiosity, then bit of knowledge comes, then more curiosity. So we have a kind of, same thought pattern. I think
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
getting this right. I'm
yeah.
getting
You are
in
right.
this right direction. Okay.
Exactly.
All
And most importantly, you need to have a passion for science. You really need to have passion for science. That I want to pursue science. I want to do
great.
something in science. That's very very important, irrespective of your position, irrespective of your background.
Okay.
Suppose even if you're reaching your PhD position, you don't know Ohm's law. You need to have that willingness that I want to do what I know what is Ohm's law. It's
Wow.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Do they
And
welcome such thing like, Ohm's law is taught in 11th science? as per
No, I'm
syllabus.
just giving an example that
Okay, you're just giving an
sometimes
example.
sometimes you might know you have been to background.
Yes.
So the thing about research is it always combines all different branches of science.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you might not know the B of biology, okay, or C of chemistry,
Right.
but your background is B of physics.
Yes.
Okay, but you actually need to know some components of B of biology and C of chemistry.
Yes. Yes. That's what a scientist has to do. He is to be
Exactly.
open to all things that can be possible, right? One has to
Yes,
get the
exactly.
solution no matter what.
Yeah, no, even if you don't get a solution, you
Uh-huh.
don't lose the hope.
And that's
That's
correct.
why where the patience comes into picture.
Correct. Correct, my friend.
Okay,
Correct.
you will face so many rejections. You will get from, like you've seen physics. You are a teacher. You might know that how many times the atomic model has been revised,
Yes. Yes. We teach that
isn't
in
it?
now. We teach that in ninth standard, and I see
Uh,
one by one each and every theory. One theory was
yeah,
put forward, then it was failed because it tried to explain certain things and it was not satisfactory answer. So people accepted another theory, then the other theory failed. In this way, we come to know how scientists, they have a lot of patience, I should say.
yeah. So science always evolves. All
Yes.
you need to is all you need to do is you be accepting, like accepting that fact that like this may
Okay.
work, this might not work, and it's very important for both the things. Like people think that like only things which works is important. No, if
Things which
something doesn't work, that's also equally important, because
yes,
you
yes.
can say that please don't try this thing. This doesn't work.
You are saying the same thing which Thomas Alva Edison said, right?
Oh my god.
Yes, yes, yes. He
Yeah,
actually
I didn't
tried a
know that.
lot many things to to invent the electricity bulb.
Electric
He
bulb, yeah.
failed a lot many times, and he said that I discovered that these are the ways in which electricity won't work, and you won't be able to light the bulb. So that resonates with it. And now let's
Yeah.
move forward, Tanesh. And I want to ask, what are the latest developments that you have seen in physics or science, which has been happening? It may not be into the public domain, or public may not be knowing it, because actually everyone is not reading the articles and latest developments or inventions that go on. So can you share some of those?
So, the times has changed now because the whole year has been going into pandemic. So I have really read most of the things about pandemic, this and that.
Okay.
There have been people been saying that vaccine may not be enough, and vaccine sustain for, like, you need vaccination. You need to revise the vaccination every year, because the way COVID SARS-CoV-2 is mutating. You need to
Yes.
change the vaccination. Anyway, so that's the current time. But in other parts of the world, is there has been a lot of been research and interest in
Battery.
battery technology.
You
So
are
you
referring to
see,
lithium ion batteries, right?
yeah, exactly,
Okay.
lithium-ion battery. I don't know if you heard of recent example. Tesla is going to establish a pilot plant for developing lithium-ion batteries for its electric cars.
I think it in India also one lithium ion battery has been is going to be established. I
Exactly.
read
So they are
yesterday
going
or
they are
today.
going they are going to set up one of these things. So
Yes.
they have actually Tesla has actually come up with a flexible lithium-ion battery technology, so which they are going to implement in their electric cars. So there has been a lot of research in space physics, and what you have seen is that there has been latest recent Nobel Prize been awarded to people who actually shown black hole exist, and black hole is actually situated at the center of our Milky Way galaxy towards Sagittarius A side. They actually through simulation they have prepared an image of the
Okay.
black holes. Yeah,
Yes, they
and that's
have.
where
They showed the image of black hole. I think that
exactly,
was
yeah.
way past, and now scientists must be working on other things as well. Every now and then we hear that one or the other asteroid is going to hit the Earth, and the common public is terrified. These news channels, they show it in such a hyper way that on this day this asteroid will come and the Earth will be finished. So the common people, like, oh my god, every now and then one or the other asteroid is going to come.
Well, I think the technology is very, very advanced that
Yeah.
if any asteroid is gushing towards Earth,
Yes.
you would get to know like a year, I mean, years before, actually years before that something was
Yeah.
going to come on. Like there's been recent meteor shower has been happened if you heard of that. I actually
Yes.
went to see the meteor shower in here as
Yes.
well.
Yes. It
So
happened. You
yeah,
told that. Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean there are like many other areas where research has been accelerating. The one is the solar energy efficient technology, solar technology.
Okay.
There have been used something called as perovskites. Um, uh,
Perovskites. Okay.
Perovskites. There is like sort of material which they use for solar cells. Well, perovskite based solar cells are not very new technology, but like there is a lot of development every day. It's been happening,
Mm-hmm.
and people are coming up with new solar cells with good efficiency. There has been yeah, in energy market there has been a lot of research is being done.
Great. Great to know so much of
In,
research. Tanesh.
yeah,
Yes, you was about to say something else also. Yeah.
yeah, and also in sensors, like there have been a lot of sensors been developed. Like there have been neural sensors that you don't have to say any word, but like it signals your brain. It signals your brain. It catches the brain vibrations, and
Okay.
that signals that says that like which amplifies and gives you a response that you are going to say this response. So
Okay. But we have to give order to that thing, right? That is. This is what we want to say.
suppose I don't know if you heard of Alexa technology where actually
Yes.
what they have done is that let me ask you a question, and
Mm-hmm.
that question will be given is given to your mind. Okay, the machine has already heard the
The
question,
machine. Yes.
and the machine has already come and given that the answer to that question to your mind only, and then you say that answer. So this is like
Okay.
sort of technology has been developed. So
That
yeah,
is
yeah,
great. That is
that is
great,
great.
actually, man.
So a lot of technology has been developed. There
Uh-huh.
has been a lot of also interest. One thing I would say is well, there is a lot of interest in developing artificial intelligence, AI.
Artificial intelligence. Yes. A
Yeah,
lot
that's
many
also
data science courses
exactly.
has been there. Artificial
Yeah,
intelligence. It is this such kind of courses has flooded the market.
yeah. There's been booming interest in artificial intelligence.
Yes. Yes.
Recently, we have published a paper from our group
Okay.
where what we have done is that like graphene. As I said about graphene is a single layer of graphite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but how can you quantify that? How many layers are there? Okay,
Okay.
similar layer structure will exist in other materials like clay. Also, you have layer materials. So we
Okay.
have developed on the basis of optical microscopy or polarized microscopy. We have developed a technique
Okay.
where we can analyze like a range of different materials with how many layers, number of layers by
Wow.
machine learning, just by machine learning. Yeah, yeah. So
That is really
those
cool.
are
Yeah.
yeah. So that's
Certain
been
things. Yeah.
yeah.
Certain things may not be able to, like layman like me, may not be able to comprehend actually, but it really sounds nice.
Yes.
So,
So
Tanesh.
machine learning, artificial intelligence are the key research areas in,
Yes.
these days. But I would suggest one thing to students that
Mm-hmm.
don't get into the trap of anything which looks starry or looks shiny to you.
Okay.
Okay, let's not get into a trap of something shiny.
Right.
Always try to read about it
Mm-hmm.
read about it. More and more you read about it, more and more you will understand,
Okay.
and try to see whether it will create an interest to you or not.
Right. Many a times,
Okay.
happens, students, they try to see which field is in demand. That is the favorite dialogue that they say. Which field is in market? Which field will give you money? That is, I think that is not the basic principle that person should follow when they are pursuing their dream. I think what should be the deciding factor is what is their interest, in which field they
I
are
I
really
I,
interested in.
I think it's been embedded in our culture, right? Like
Yes,
me and you, all of us are grown up
yes.
that
We try to
first choice
get
is
shortcut.
medical, first
Yes,
choice is engineering, and then
engineering.
first choice is your science. People with science are like this.
Yes,
But that's completely okay. I think the times have been changing in India. In India, also there has
yes.
been a lot of interest in various subjects and various. In fact,
Correct.
I would definitely encourage people, even if who wouldn't want to pursue studies, would
Mhm.
want to go to sports. I really welcome those people as well.
Yes, we have to
So
be open-minded actually. We should just
exactly.
at least we should inspire and motivate the young generation to pursue
Mm.
their dreams. They
Oh
might be
yeah.
good at sports, someone might be good at maths. so they should go accordingly, right? And now moving forward, Tanesh, like now we have talked about all the things about science, your job responsibilities, everything. Now let's move to a bit personal thing, like what is your daily routine as of now?
Well, I'm on holiday at the moment because we have Christmas holidays.
Okay,
In Australia, we observe like 10,
like
12 days of holidays.
normally what is your daily routine
Usually,
actually?
so daily routine is that like first of all I wake up in the morning and prepare breakfast. After the
Okay,
breakfast, I head on to my office. Sometimes I go a little early, and I might have to skip the breakfast in
all
case
right.
there is some experiments is running or there is some meeting to happen.
Okay,
And then when I go there, I would do my daily research, whether it's experiments, whether it's writing or sometimes reading, sometimes writing up something. And once I do that, I prepare my lunch. So here we don't like in general people don't cook the food every three days a time. Okay, so
okay.
3 times in a day. Only thing we do is we cook a night before and we use that for breakfast, for lunch, and sometimes for dinner as well.
That is good.
Well, yeah,
That's
well,
good
I mean,
actually. Time
because
saving. Time
the,
saving.
because also there is also a difference in Indian and Australian climate that there is a
Yeah.
lot of less pollution, a lot of less insects and all those things. So even if you keep your food outside on the table, it doesn't spoil for a day, even for a day, even it's a hot summer day.
Wow, that is good actually.
Yeah, actually.
Because here people have to make food 3 times a day.
Yeah, actually.
You are good.
There are people who make, yeah, actually, I think it's more,
Mhm.
people here are more of a work focused culture.
Yes,
Okay.
saves a lot
If
of
they,
time actually, right?
yeah, exactly. So more, so in here, like husband and wife both works, both
Okay.
go in the morning, leave to the offices and come back in the night. So it's more of a, yeah. So anyway, so my back to my schedule
Hmm.
is again, I go to work, I pack my lunch together with me and then have my lunch at the office.
Okay.
And then there will some meetings happens every day. There is some other meetings, and then talk to,
Okay.
we'll interact together. Anything discussion happens in the lab or in the office area.
All
Come
right.
back in the night. Come back in the night like 5, 6 o'clock something. Make dinner for the next day. Sorry, make dinner and lunch and breakfast for the same for the next day.
Yeah.
And that routine follows. One thing very interesting about here
Hmm.
is that you work 9 to 5.
Okay.
Okay,
Hmm.
give your best, fully focus on 9 to 5.
Okay.
Saturday, Sundays are yours.
Right.
Right.
That's good.
So
Lot
yeah,
of
actually,
relaxation time.
the relaxation time. So
Yeah.
people here like very, they're like they will step in the office at 9 o'clock sharp. Get out, no matter how much work they have, get out at 5.
Okay.
That's normal Australian culture. People of different immigrants do follow different culture, but it's still
Right.
that's the culture. And after 5, no talk about work. Talk
Good.
about family life. Talk about good. Talk to
Yeah.
family. Talk to
Yes. Yes.
friends. Talk to like make food and all those things.
That is
And
having a balanced life, right?
that's balanced life. And Saturday Sundays, people do gardening. People go out for shopping.
Okay.
Clean their room, clean house.
Okay.
So clean surrounding area. Like
Okay.
declutter things and all those things. So that's what it.
Okay, so Tanesh, I have just known like what is your daily routine. Now I want to know like what is the one thing or two things that you want to include in your life which will increase your productivity as a person and as a research scientist. Something that you are trying to learn or include in your daily life.
Yeah, one thing I want to learn and want to include is daily exercise. I'm still trying my best. You are also my inspiration because I see
Thank you,
your
thank
status every day, and you do this many push this and that. I'm not been able to do good exercise, but I think I want to start good exercise. Keep my body healthy and perfect.
you. Yeah.
That's the one thing I want to add to my life. I try sometimes, but sometimes yes and no. So yeah.
That happens,
So
that happens. I just
yeah,
want you to taste the success of 1 or 2 days. Once the lion gets the taste of blood,
exactly. It
just
never forgets.
follow. It will
It
just
was
follow like that. You should
yeah,
just
yeah,
get that small win, and you will keep pushing on and on and on
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. You don't
Because
have
I
to
think
give
very
up also.
exactly. Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. You don't have to give up it. So, yeah, that's one thing I want to implement, and I want to do it actually. because I think health is very, very important as well. And that also another message I would want to give is
Yes.
health is well. Focus
Health
about
is wealth. Yes.
health
Any
is well.
books, Tanesh? Any books that you read or you have been reading, or which are your favorite books?
There are many books from good authors like from Simon Sinek uh,
Yes.
about why.
Start with
There has
why.
been
Correct.
yeah, exact. Start with why,
Okay.
and there's been books by John Maxwell. I know if you know about John Maxwell.
Okay.
He's a blind author. He's a very interesting guy.
Okay.
There have been books like intentional living that you
Okay.
intentional living. There's one way my favorite book is Magic of Thinking Big.
Okay.
Okay, by David, by an author called David. It's a
Okay.
very nice book. Magic of Thinking is a very nice book. It actually changed my perspective as a whole.
Wow.
Yeah, and I would recommend everyone to read it. Yeah,
Magic of Thinking Big, right?
yep.
That
It's
is
such
your
an
favorite
interest.
book.
It's my favorite book. Yeah, it's very
Okay, I'll
interesting.
definitely include that in my reading list. Hopefully
Hmm.
from 2021. Right now, I'm actually reading this book, and this is the second or third time I'm reading this book, Zero to One, by Peter Thiel.
Wow.
It's
Uh-huh.
all about entrepreneurship. Anyone who wants to start their own business, they should
Mm-hmm.
read this.
Yeah,
And I
interesting.
am really passionate about such things. When a lot of knowledge is combined into very small book and less many pages, that is perfect for me. And I will
Yeah,
also
actually.
include your favorite book, that is
Suggestions, yeah. Suggestions,
Magic
yeah.
of Thinking Big. So
Yeah,
it will
please do
be
that.
in my reading list. And now,
Yeah,
Tanesh,
I was
moving
good.
forward, so we've talked about books, and I have also seen that you are quite religious guy during our college days, and you were
Mm-hmm.
the one who actually introduced me and one more best friend of ours, Mithun.
Mm-hmm.
You made us, actually attend the
Mm-hmm.
Iskon Temple, all the festivals and all the
Yeah, yeah. That was
learnings and
interesting.
lectures.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
tell me about the Iskon Temple experience that you had in your life.
I think one of the book I read about this guy, what's his name? Oh, come on. So, Rich Dad Poor Dad guy,
Yeah, Rich Dad Poor
Kiyosaki,
Dad.
Robert Kiyosaki. Robert
Robert
Kiyosaki.
Kiyosaki. Yeah.
So one of the book by Robert Kiyosaki, The Business of 21st Century,
Yeah.
it actually says that there is one important part of your life, which is spirituality.
Spirituality. Okay.
It's very, very important for your life. I'm not saying that. Of course, Con has been my very good journey on a spiritual life,
Yeah.
spiritual side. But on the path of my journey, I have realized that that was also one of the important component that kept me going, that didn't allow me to distract or delineate from my normal path.
Okay.
Okay, and it's been interesting journey being ISKCON. That ISKCON, one thing I learned is that you actually give your best. You work hard and give your best.
Hmm.
Okay, so they always say in therein we always used to say, and I think you remember that, like, God help them who help themselves.
Yes. Basic saying, huh?
Basic saying, basic saying. It works that way. It actually works that way.
Yes.
And what I have learned from ISKCON is that, like, you give your best. Okay, you give whatever you can, and then so one thing I learned about is that, like, if you take one step towards God, the God would take 100 steps towards you.
That's correct.
But you need to make that one step. You take that
So
one
that
step towards
God,
God.
so that God can help you actually.
So God will help you. So
Yes.
unless and until we don't make that step, things doesn't come to you.
Correct. Correct. You have to take the
If I
first
may
step.
say in general language, there's always been another thing is there's been karma. We talk about karma.
Yes.
That
Karma.
even if you take 10 steps, you feel like you're not getting anything. So
Right.
that could be the karmas. So that's where you learn the art of being patient. That's where you learn the resilient.
Correct. Correct. It's actually
Resilience.
very
That
good quality, and it's very important quality that has to be imbibed in
yeah,
today's generation. And
generation.
Tanesh, we have now discussed a lot about your daily routine as well. Now I want to know personally, like, what are the good qualities that you see in a person, so that you decide that this person or this is the kind of person I want to have as a lifelong friend.
That's a very interesting question, man. Like,
Yeah.
so I think I think it's more all about frequency match. anytime. I always believe in that resonance needs to
Resonance.
happen between the two people.
Right.
Okay, so I mean most of the times whatever friends I have like you, I haven't chosen you, like it so happened that like you got a friends like you. But one thing I believe, and what one thing I want to communicate to the listeners, that there is something called Einstein's basic principle. E is equal to mc square. You
Yes.
know that E is equal to mc square.
Yeah.
So how I take that E is equal to mc square, I'll tell you. So E stands for environment,
Okay.
M stands for mindset,
Okay.
C stands for create,
Right.
C stands for character. So I always say E is equal to mc square as environment creates mindset
Mindset.
that creates character.
Okay. Great.
Okay,
Great equation.
that's the that's the one thing I have implemented in my life. Like
All
when
right.
we talked about, I used to prepare for gate with same kind of people, like similar aspiring people wanted to clear the get to IITs,
Like a teamwork, so that you
like
create
a
a
teamwork.
perfect environment. Right.
Exactly. So again, that thing I would look at, that if I want to have someone as a friend, I would have that person who has like similar aspirants as me, like someone who wants to achieve something great in my own line, and there should not be competition in that direction.
Right.
Okay, okay, it should be always a collaboration. Like competition is, I still think competition is always for someone who believes, like who doesn't have self belief that like can achieve it. So then it becomes for people it becomes a competition.
Right. Correct. Right.
So I would like to have friends with someone. I would like to be friendly with someone who I have resonance in that direction of like
Frequency.
creating good
Frequency should match. Yeah.
frequency should match. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
So Tanesh, let's move forward now. And now, the last and my favorite question comes up,
Mhm.
and I love this
Yep.
question. Because
Yeah.
see, a lot many times we describe a person through one or two sentences. Many people, like Mahatma Gandhi, is known for non-violence. Okay, then Albert Einstein is known for his intelligence and all like that. So my question is, what would be the favorite one-liner that you wish people will tell about Tanesh Gamot as a person?
Oh my God.
Yes, that is my
Okay, I have
favorite
never
question.
thought of.
That is my favorite
Uh,
question. You can ask me the same question later on. Okay, but I want to ask yours.
Maybe like I think I would like to know the answer from your side first. So that
Okay,
gives me some idea. How would I describe Raj?
someone who never gave up.
Fantastic.
That's it.
Yeah. Um, for me, someone again the same in similar line. Someone who's not a quitter, I would say.
Yes, winners
Yeah.
never quit and quitters never win.
Yeah. Exactly.
We have to be students of life, actually. If we have to move forward and learn forward, we have to act like student each and every moment. When people think that they know a lot of things, then their knowledge itself becomes an enemy because it closes their mind. That
Exactly.
happens with many conservative people. They close their mind and they don't open up to new ideas, or they don't even accept new ideas. So I really like such kind of people, and I think that's what scientists also are. They are always open to learning and new ideas. So
That's true.
that's why I can call you also as a student of life. So Tanesh, thank you so much for joining with us. It was a pleasure talking to you about science and spirituality and your daily routine. Thank you so much. Any last advice or suggestion that you would like to give to our audience?
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. I think this is the right opportunity for me to even like uh,
Yeah.
to guide someone whom I can make someone's life better. Actually,
Yeah.
again, coming back to the same thing, that my same Einstein equation E is equal to mc square.
Okay.
The E environment creates mindset that creates character. So
Okay.
choose the right environment for
Okay.
you to grow.
Great.
Okay, choose the right environment for you to grow. and like try to identify your strengths in that environment. Try to identify your own strengths and go towards it.
Thank you so much, Tanesh, for joining with us. It was pleasure talking to you, and I hope your suggestions and your advices would be followed by all the student audience who want to make it big in science field. It's a great learning experience with you guys. Thank you so much, Tanesh.
That's my pleasure, Raj. And the inspiration you are giving to students of being a teacher, that's again inspiration to me as well. And it's always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
giving the opportunity as well. Yeah.
Yeah.